Welcome to the Art of Badassery's Mindfucks with Mahara, where we burn down the illusions, strip the BS, and claim the throne of our lives. I'm your host, Mahara Wayman, and today's truth bomb is this: you don't have to earn your existence. I'm going to say that again. You don't have to earn your existence. Let that slap you in the soul. You don't have to hustle, bleed, or prove yourself into worthiness. You already are. But most of us, we don't live like that. We live on the battlefield of the inner critic, ducking her arrows, dodging her grenades, believing her whisper that says, "You're not enough. You'll never be enough. And until you prove yourself, you don't deserve to be here." Well, today, folks, we're dismantling that myth. This is worthiness warfare. Let me take you into my own trenches. I used to believe worthiness was something I could earn, like points in a game. Collect enough stars, badges, or gold medals, and boom, permission to exist. So I hustled hard. I stacked certifications like armor. I said yes to every responsibility like it was oxygen. I performed strength and independence even when I felt like I was crumbling inside. And people noticed. They told me, "Oh, you're doing so well. You're so accomplished. You're so strong. You're so inspiring." But here's the dark truth. Every compliment was a hit of validation gone in a flash, like spiritual junk food. And beneath it all, I was still that little girl whispering, "Have I done enough yet? Do I matter yet? Am I finally allowed to just be?" And my favorite, can I just speak up what's in my heart? Spoiler, no amount of doing was ever enough. Because worthiness isn't earned, it's inherent. But nobody told me that. Instead, I got conscripted into the critic's army. Okay, where did I learn that my worth was conditional? Everywhere. Childhood classrooms where good girls were rewarded for compliance. Workplaces where valuable employees were measured by their burnout levels. Cultures where women were praised for self-sacrifice and punished for boundaries. We have been programmed to equate worth with output, love with labor, safety with silence. And here's the kicker: the more capable you are, the deeper the trap. High-achieving women often get the heaviest chains because the world claps the loudest when we kill ourselves performing. Now, a satirical intermission. Picture me as your war correspondent, reporting live from the front lines of worthiness warfare. Here we are, folks, ducking behind sandbags of self-doubt while the inner critic launches her latest assault. Tactic number 1, the classic not enough grenade. Watch as she lobs it casually into the camp. Not thin enough, smart enough, not spiritual enough, just not enough, damn it. The troops scatter. Next up, the goalpost shift maneuver. Just as you reach the target, she moves it 10 feet further. You thought you were finally successful? Wrong. Now you need to do more, be more, and prove more. And here comes her deadliest weapon, the comparison cannon. She wheels it out and blasts you with curated Instagram feeds, reminding you you'll never measure up to their highlight reels. Casualties include your confidence, your joy, and probably your sanity. Back to you in the studio, Mahara. End scene. Kind of silly, kind of funny, but painfully true, right? Because we all know what it feels like to be under attack by those weapons. Okay, now let's call in the Trinity. Of course, I'm going to talk about the Trinity. The inner critic is the general of this battlefield. She believes if you keep hustling, proving, performing, you'll stay safe. But safety at what cost? You live in a cage of not enough. Shadow Queen is the battlefield rebel. You know it. She storms in with her torch and says, "Burn this war to the ground. Stop fighting battles you were never meant to fight." She doesn't negotiate with the critic. She dismantles the entire game. The divine guide is the medic on the field. She kneels beside you, presses her hands over your heart, and whispers, "You were born worthy. Every breath is proof. You don't need to earn what you already are." Well, that right there is the war council. Fierce, wise, liberating. At the heart of the worthiness warfare is, no surprise, the worthiness wound. It's the wound that whispers, you must pay rent to exist. It's the wound that tricks you into thinking, if I stop proving, I'll disappear. It's the wound that fuels perfectionism, overgiving, people-pleasing. And worst of all, it's invisible. Because when you're so busy achieving, nobody notices the wound. They only see the shiny trophies you've stacked on top of it. Okay, here's some real life mindfuckery. I want to tell you about one of my former selves. Let's call her Corporate Mahara. Corporate Mahara believed her worth was measured in productivity and promotions. So she wore her exhaustion like a badge of honor. Never said no. And she secretly believed that if she slowed down, people would see through her and realize she was a fraud, cast her aside. That's what the critic does. She doesn't just whisper not enough, she builds an entire empire of illusion around it. An empire you serve without question until the Shadow Queen storms in and burns the damn thing down. And that's happened to me, folks, which is why I'm doing this podcast. Here's the tricky part, though. The critic seduces you with the idea of enough. Just one more certification, one more 10-pound loss, one more zero in the bank account. Then you'll be allowed to rest. Then you'll be worthy. But the carrot keeps moving. You'll never arrive because worthiness isn't a finish line. Worthiness is the ground you're already standing on. All right, let's make this visceral. Unless you're driving, I invite you to close your eyes and imagine yourself sprinting toward a finish line that keeps moving. You're sweating, you're panting, feeling desperate. But no matter how fast you run, the line shifts further away. Feel the panic, the exhaustion, the eventual collapse. Now, imagine lying back in the grass. No race, no finish line. The earth holds you. The sun warms your face. You breathe. Worthiness is right here, already yours. That contrast, that's the difference between conditional worthiness and inherent worthiness. All right, let's look at how to spot worthiness warfare. Here are the red flags that you're in the middle of this war. You can't rest without guilt. Compliments make you squirm or deflect. I got to tell you, when I first wrote that and then reread it, I got a little emotional. That one still is with me. I know. Okay, another red flag. You keep moving the goalpost on yourself. You do it on yourself. You define your identity by productivity. You feel unlovable unless you're useful. If any of those hit, congratulations, you've been drafted. But here's the good news. You can defect. So how do we defect and dismantle this lie? Well, number one, you call out the critic. I talk about this all the time. Awareness is everything. When she whispers not enough, don't debate. Just name it. Say, there's the worthiness warfare thing again. Number two, burn the scoreboard. For the love of God, stop keeping tally of what you've done versus what you've earned. Destroy the imaginary point system. Number three, practice being. I know, right? Can you imagine I just said that? Practice being 5 minutes a day where you simply sit, breathe, exist. No productivity, just worthiness in action. 4, reparent the wound. Talk to your inner child. Tell her you don't have to earn love. You already are love. And lastly, my favorite, anchor with a ritual. Each morning, declare to yourself in the mirror, I am worthy because I exist. Okay, the power of rest. Let's talk about this. This is the rebel act nobody tells you. Rest is warfare. Rest is rebellion against the critic's regime. When you nap, when you laugh, when you play, when you do nothing at all, you're dismantling the myth in real time. You're saying to the universe, I don't have to earn my existence. I already am. And smile while doing it. Okay, let's drop into this now. Again, as long as you're not driving. Hands over your heart. Let's take a deep breath in. And whisper, I am worthy right now. Not because of what I've done, not because of what I will do, but because I exist. Take a deep breath and just feel the truth of that ripple through your body. That's not affirmation, folks. That's reclamation. All right, here is your radical challenge this week. For 3 days, when someone compliments you, just say thank you. No deflecting, no minimizing. I'm doing this. I want you to do it too. Also, let's come up with a bit of a rest ritual for yourself. Schedule 1 hour of guilt-free rest in the entire week. Set the intention. This hour proves nothing. It simply is. And every morning, my invitation is that you repeat this worthiness mantra. Say, I don't have to earn my existence. I already am. Simple, radical, life-altering. Okay, let's tie this up in a bow. The inner critic's battlefield is brutal. But the biggest mindfuck of all is this. The war itself is a lie. You don't have to earn your existence. You never did. You never will. The Shadow Queen says, stop fighting battles that aren't yours. Burn the scoreboard. The Divine Guide says, you were born worthy. Remember that. And the critic, well, she can shout all she wants, but sovereignty doesn't answer to her anymore. If today's episode felt like some much-needed oxygen, share it with your sisters who are still sprinting for that ever-moving finish line. Also, love it if you left a review so more women can step out of the battlefield and into their truth. And if you're ready to dismantle the worthiness wound at its root, join me in my Trinity transformation, where we turn the critic from tormentor into ally, where we awaken your divine guide, and we let the Shadow Queen torch the lie once and for all. Because this is real liberation, you don't have to earn your existence. You are already here and fully worthy. Check out my website, www.mindfulnesswithmahara.com. Thanks so much for joining me today. This was Mindfucks with Mahara. Here's to you.